All right, Shalom Israel. First and foremost, as always, I would like to give all praises, honor, glory, respect, and blessings to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rachaha, Kwadash. Salutations to the Lord's elect on the four corners of the earth, pushing his truth and sincerity while patiently waiting for Yahweh Shai's return. And double honors to our apostles and elders of Great Millstone, which have taught us everything we know through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai. And welcome to another series of news and prophecies being brought to you through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai. Okay, linking global events to biblical prophecy to show you sincere, hopeful members of the elect out there that everything that is written in the Holy Scriptures is faithful and true. So, lab holding deadly virus at risk in DR Congo. And this is a report that was given by Red Cross. The aid agency reports that medical facilities and warehouses are being raided in the war-torn African country, okay? And let's just stop right there, because that country, which is being called Africa, was not called Africa, okay, more than 2,000 years ago, okay? Africa was originally known as the land of Ham, okay, in which when you go into the Hebrew word for Ham is Chum, Chaam, which means hot, because that region of the earth would be hot, okay, scorching hot. So it was called Ham, you know, and that land originally was inhabited by Hamites, which you know, your Ethiopians, your Cushites, your Sudanese, which will be your South Sudanese, which will be your Egyptians, okay, your Philistines, okay, these are all descendants of Ham, okay. Now 2,000 years ago, when the Israelites fled out of Jerusalem because of Roman persecution in 70 AD, our people migrated into the land of Chum, well, what we know as Africa today, okay? And when our people got into the land of Africa, okay, we mainly migrated to the western parts of Africa. So that's why you see some of our people still living amongst those Hamites. But you so-called Negroes, you West Indians, and you Haitians, you're not Hamites, okay? You are descendants of Jacob, okay? You come from the line of Jacob. So being called an African is not a nationality, okay? That is a byword that was put on that place after Hannibal lost to Lucius Scipius Africanus. Okay, it says the International Committee of the Red Cross, ICRC, has warned that ongoing fighting in the Democratic Republic, that's what DR stands for, an acronym for DR, of the Congo's eastern city of Goma could result in Ebola and other pathogen samples escaping from a laboratory, according to AFP, okay? Now, we know that I think it was back in 2014, okay? They came out with that the Ebola scare. I'll just say that. I don't want to say the word because of YouTube algorithms, but they came out with that Ebola scare. That Ebola scare. Or I could just say Ebo LA, you know, Ebo LA, they came out with that with the Ebo LA scare, remember? And people were worried because they said that people who was diagnosed with these diseases was getting on airplanes, and they was going to Europe, and they was coming over here to America, and people were pretty much, anybody who came in contact with Ebo LA, okay, pretty much suffered from hemorrhagic fever. And a hemorrhagic fever, okay, from what Ebo LA does to you is it pretty much melts your insides and liquidates you. It melts your insides, okay, to the point to where, you start bleeding out of all your pores, your eyes, your ears, your fingertips, and pretty much you're left looking like a pile of skin and blood on the ground after Ebo LA is finished with you. Okay. So they said that Ebo LA and other deadly pathogens could escape from the laboratory, according to AFP. So the ICRC Regional Director for Africa, Patrick Yosef, told reporters in Geneva on Tuesday that the laboratory of the National Biomedical Research Institute in the Central African nation is facing the risk of power cuts. Okay, he said the organization is very concerned about the situation in the lab, warning of unimaginable consequences if the samples, including Ebo LA virus, that it contains, were to spread. And really, this is what the so-called elites want. They want these things to spread, okay, so they can spread panic. Okay, so they can spread panic. Okay. Goma, the capital in North Kivu province, has apparently become a battleground after M23 rebels announced on Monday that they had captured the city following weeks of heavy fighting against DR Congo soldiers. Okay. And the Democratic Republic Congo soldiers and UN peacekeepers. Eastern Dominican or Democratic Congo, or the Democratic Republic Congo, has been plagued by violence for decades. And who's responsible for that? Okay, the self-proclaimed white man, okay, who are known as the biblical Edomites. Okay, they have spreaded violence all throughout the earth, collapsing the economy of certain countries, setting up Asian provocateurs to get people to riot and rebel against their leaders. Countries cannot live in peace as long as the Edomites are in rulership. Okay? As dozens of armed groups, including the alleged Rwanda-backed M23 militia, compete with the government, the resources such as gold and diamonds. The government compete for resources such as gold and diamonds, And the scriptures say that there's nothing more wicked than a covetous man, Let's come over here and get this. Okay. And let's go to okay. bear with me for one moment. 2 Corinthians 2 verse 11. Okay, excuse me. Bear with me for one moment here. 2 Corinthians chapter 2. And then let's scroll down here, okay? 2 Corinthians 2 verse 11. That Satan should get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices. You know, we're not ignorant to the scheme of the so-called elites, whose plan is to spread ongoing chaos throughout the world, getting people to fight against one another, so that way people who's looking for change can come out and beg for a change, and that change is going to come via pushing towards a new world order. Okay, Matthew 24 verse 7. For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines and pestilences and earthquakes in diverse places. All these are the beginning of sorrows. Okay. And I don't think I can. Oh, maybe I can. Oh, that's cool. They actually have this here in that Blue Letter Bible app. Interlinear. Okay. I like that. Let's look up pestilences. Okay. Which is loimos. Okay.
Strong's G 3061. Loimas.
Okay, and what do we see right here? We see pestilence, a pestilent fellow, pest. And what do we see right here for the last word? Plague. Define what a plague is. Okay, a plague, a contagious bacterial disease characterized by fever and delirium. Okay, did not Alizé say that he was in a constant state of delirium? It's because the Lord gave him the plague of the mind. It says typically with the formation of buboes, which is, bubonic plague, and sometimes infection of the lungs. Okay. And then a plague can also be something that causes continual trouble or distress. So, the Lord said he would bring plagues upon the world, right? The Lord is going to bring continual trouble and distress upon the world. The sword, famine, death, and destruction. Okay? And which we're entering into 2 Esdras 15 verse 5, even as I speak. So, they over here talking about, people got a hold of these people are getting a hold of these viruses and, blah, 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 blah. And, this is only a fulfillment of biblical prophecy. Now, something else I would like to do. Let me see. Define plague. Okay, that opened up on Google. We can go back to being closed out. Okay, so this is interlinear for Matthew, and it's all written in the Greek. So let me see. Let's go to Luke 21. Let's see. Let me see. Bear with me for one moment, please. Okay, Luke 21 verse 11. And great earthquakes shall be in diverse places, and famines and pestilences, and fearful sights and great signs shall there be from heaven. Okay, so that pretty much concludes this lesson. Okay, there are pestilences in diverse places. As you see, Esau is looking to cause, diseases to spread, And even if these people don't, get a hold of some deadly pathogens, or if they do, or let's just say if they don't, who's to say that Esau can't just spray these deadly viruses in the air? People are used to seeing chemtrails, right? Nobody ever, there's very few people in this country that will actually question chemtrails. Other people, they see chemtrails and they think it's just, smog or smoke coming from an airplane. And like smog and smoke doesn't linger or stay in the air like that, Smoke normally, when it's exposed to air, vanishes. It vanishes, usually within under a minute, and it's the same thing with smog, so people are so used to seeing chemtrails that they don't question it. So who's to say that one day Esau can't spray these deadly viruses in the air and then come up with a cover story to say that, well, some people have stole some viruses from such and such and da 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 da, and and now that they're gone missing, few people have already been diagnosed with this and that, and so I mean, we're in those times, man. With that, I'm gonna say shalom. Is on to the next one.